week 5, episode 5. It is the Survivor Live Show, the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital on a Wednesday night, coming right off Survivor once again. Welcome aboard, everybody. Jump in the room, play with us if you like. Hit the old thumbs up like. We'd love for you to do that as you come on in. Make that your entrance strategy. Pop the old like. But listen, we're here to talk Survivor, all things Survivor. It's always a lot of fun, and usually we have a guy that's been hanging with us for 8 years and has migrated over here to the digital world with us, and that's Brett LaBelle. But Brett apparently had to make a trip to Dublin, Ireland. So no Brett LaBelle, but always Brett. So good to bring other survivors into the fold, and we're very, very happy to have this guy. It's the first time he's ever joined us on the show, but let's welcome him in. And let me do this properly, by the way, Boy Green.
Yeah,
a full name, I believe, is needed here to introduce Jake, okay? Jacob Francis Xavier O'Kane. I don't think I've ever heard a more Italian name than that. I mean an Irish name than that. Jake, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Thanks for the warm welcome, guys. I'm looking excited to try to fill the void Brett left,
So let me just see, Jake.
About the Irishness of your name. I mean, I know O'Kane. I figured you're Irish, of course, but I didn't know it was Jacob Francis Xavier O'Kane. Holy crow.
Well, you know what? It's the Xavier is like confirmation name and all that. And my grandmother would be very upset if I left that out. So, I tag that on to different things.
Okay.
It's not legal, but,
All right. I love it.
From time to
I
time.
absolutely love it.
It definitely counts here. Yeah, my question is going to be this, Jake. How long have you so Brett went to his alliance member here at a time of need for you to fill in. How long have you guys been aligned? How long have you known Brett?
I think Brett came to a watch party my season for I believe it was episode 4 of when my season was airing. We were hanging out, and he was just a wicked nice guy. He always goes to stuff. Wicked nice guy to hang out with. It was funny. Last spring we were hanging out. And, he's getting up there a little bit, but he can hang out. We're a bunch of alum hanging out, like, after one of Rob Sesternino's shows in Boston. And it's, like, probably everyone under the age of 32 and Brett. And he's just, like, crushing it. It's like 2 a.m. We're still slugging beers. It's great guy.
So Brett hangs tough. He can stand. Yeah. He can stay with you guys.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
Okay. All right, good. I like that.
Just because we're a little older, it doesn't mean that we're incapable of having a night. But, we try to spread them out a little more than those youngsters, dare I say. All right, Jake, let's get into it. We're into season 49. Before I ask any questions about tonight's episode, how are you enjoying the season? How do you like the characters that Survivor has cast in season 49?
I really like the cast. I think the actual result of what's been going on, I don't think it's been the most engaging season. But I think in terms of the people that they have, I really like some of the people that they have. I just don't feel like there's been really entertaining positions that have been put in. Obviously the snake thing was sick, but sick was bad, but also really engaging. That was really cool to see. But yeah, it's not the best, but like Survivor's kind of like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's still really good.
True.
Yeah. Have you had any animal encounters, Jake, on Survivor?
When I was out there, the first day we got fishing gear, right? We, me and Kelly from my original tribe, we go out into the ocean, and a big shark swims right up to us. Not a big shark, it's a reef shark, but it was like probably 6 or 7 feet long. It looked big to me, right?
Yeah, that sounds big. Yeah.
It comes up, and it's just like they don't bother the reef sharks. They don't really bother anyone, but they're like, if they come up to you and they start shaking a little bit, get out. And so one came up and started shaking. I'm like, Kel, we're good. We're out. And meanwhile, you got like all the Fijian production team on the beach just laughing their asses off, laughing their butts off at us.
Oh, we're good. It's
the internet. Say whatever you want. Let it fly.
All right.
I don't really like it, but you can do it if you want.
Yeah.
That was my animal encounter, and that was enough for me.
Okay, that sounds like more than enough.
Yeah, I was all set.
I won't lie, Jake. I mean, I'm just flat out PO'd at this tribe swap and how 2 guys from Hina, who I thought were really good characters and really could have gone deep in this game, have now been eliminated, including tonight's elimination of Jason. I mean, I was disappointed. Matt was my guy, man. I liked Matt. I liked what he was bringing to the table. And they just get the short end of the stick. And right now, Uli, because they're winning the challenges, are controlling the game a little bit. So give me your thought on that, on a tribe swap, and whether or not you like that flip of a coin to kind of turn the game up on its head, or when you're working so hard to build alliances, it sucks when a coin flip just decides your fate. And I felt like for both of those guys, that's what happened.
I very much agree with that. I don't know what else they could do, really, especially Jason, really, at this point. Last week, like, I think there's things you can do to not be the first person. Unfortunately, Matt got the short end of the stick there. But, like, especially Jason, I feel like at this point, that's really tough to maneuver. But, I feel like the problem solved if there's not, like, just some disaster tribe, as we've been seeing for the past couple seasons, just one to act
Right.
just blow up entirely. Like, I think they happen every other season now. When there's not a disaster tribe, I feel like there's a little more variance in what can happen in terms of the numbers. But if you're going to each have one original blue, like, the color with the majority is going to win and vote out the person not in the majority. So it's straightforward. But you do like to see, like, the new people interact, like the Savannah Matt interaction, even though it didn't work out with him, was funny to watch her kind of read him down and use her old reporter skills, journalistic skills to get a better understanding of who he was. And that's what makes trap swaps fun. Personally.
So let's get into some of those relationships. You were talking about Savannah. Savannah Jawan, she's just been annoyed by Jawan's existence, using her clean bag for gathering firewood, taking her bottle. Apparently all this is accidental, but it's bothering the bleep out of Savannah. How much of that just happens where people, because, like, we have all these people from all different walks of life, different sizes, colors, shapes, and everything. They're all forced on an island together. And then it's all those idiosyncrasies. It's all those random mannerisms that you're just forced to be with. And you have to just completely, be so vulnerable out there. You guys don't get a chance to go to makeup for 5 minutes and then come back. Everything's all out on the line, and people, things that annoy people seem to come out pretty quick there, Jake.
Yeah, honestly, I felt for Jawan. I did the same thing to Katura from my season on our original beats. I accidentally lost her water bottle at one point. And, like, not even intentional, you know what I mean? They all look the same. There's a little tag with initials on them, but, like, other than that, they all look the same. So it's, like, easy to mess up. If I messed up the bag and the water bottle, I'm sure she would have been much more frustrated, because now he's fallen into a pattern. Right. And I think the more pattern that continues from Jawan accidentally taking Savannah's belongings, her negative opinion on him is going to snowball. And I enjoy it. I like the commentary, I think it's fun.
Now, Jake, I knew you were going to come on with us tonight, so I spent a little time today doing mini binging your season. I've obviously seen it already, but I wanted to go back and watch some episodes of 45. And, man, I picked a couple of good episodes. One that was awesome. I thought it was an awesome edit, and I wonder, with you watching it back, what you thought. But the episode I'm referring to, I think there were about 8 left in the tribe. And the girls, Emily won the challenge, which included a reward, and they all went to the sanctuary. So the girls take off, and the guys stay behind. 4 guys, 4 girls. The 4 guys stay behind, and then you guys just start being guys, which I guess you can't really do in Survivor when you have girls in the tribe, because you don't want to annoy them. But, the flatulence starts, and the burping starts, and and then just being guys and talking about action movies. And then they did that takeoff of Top Gun. The scene in Top Gun, obviously, where they play the volleyball and they take off their shirts and show off their buffness, and then we got to see these guys being buff, not so buff. Absolutely hilarious. I wonder if when you watched it back, what you thought of that editing, because I just thought it was brilliant. It had me laughing for days.
It was so funny. Because I was talking, someone from production talked to me like before the episode aired, and they're just like, "Hey, the editors the editor said there's some kind of Top Gun moment coming up." And, I'm like, oh, is it like, some endurance challenge when people are, like, looking over at each other, waiting for the other person, like the eye contact kind of thing when they're in the fighter jets. I'm like, it's probably something like that. Maybe it's like one of the challenges that took a little bit longer. It's probably really cool and just a sick moment. Maybe they would play like Danger Zone in the background. I was like, that was my expectation. Maybe they're mixing it up, because, like, my season, they had the writer's strike. So they were, like, spending a lot of money on ads and things like that. So I'm like, they might buy Danger Zone to play it on the episode. Was not expecting playing with the boys. It was a hilarious surprise. But no, we did talk about it, because, all the girls went and the guys were back at camp. So we're like, all right, guys' night, whatever. Took a little bit of extra rice, went fishing a little bit more, had a little bigger portions, but that was funny. The 4 of us who were there, we eat it up. You know what I mean? Like, we were not expecting that, and it was hilarious.
So, Jake, 2-parter here. First off, how big of a Survivor fan were you before your season?
I was a huge fan. Like I started watching 2012, but like I've gone back and watched everything, and I might know too much. I feel like.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. And what I was going to ask is, so knowing that, I thought I saw that in other places that you were a big Survivor guy, and then after, how does it change when you're part of that Survivor fraternity? Right, 700 something players have had the opportunity to play over the 25 years of the franchise, and we talked a little bit about some of the parties and other stuff you guys get to do. What is that experience of like being a member of Survivor for you? Obviously, you went all the way to the end. You're a finalist. Like not many people. That's an even smaller percentage of the people that played that get all the way to the end. But how is that being a part of that fraternity forever, and what that entails?
It's so cool. It's such a blessing, right? Like I think in terms like I'm still like a super fan. I'm going to remain a super fan. I think like I might listen to a little bit less podcasts overall now, or I'd lose my mind. I think because I think about the game even more because like of the lived experience now, and I feel like if I kept listening to them, I'd be overwhelmed if I listened to them in the same capacity that I did before. Like every single day, I had them going all day while I was working or whatever. But now it's a little bit less. Still consume a fair bit, but in terms of being part of the fraternity, it's just it's I don't know. I feel like I grew up here around Boston, and like most of my life has existed here. Like I didn't travel too much prior to going and do it, and now I got like it's a weird like frat. Like now you got friends all over the country in different areas, and like I've traveled more than I ever had, which is like really cool and really eye-opening to different things. You know what I mean? So, and then also just to like see people who you were fans with on TV be like, that's so sick. You know what I mean? I get to hang out with these people now. There's some people maybe you thought they were awesome, and now you're like, I don't really like them that much. But that's more the minority. But that is also something that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are they better or worse in person when you meet them off the show? And you thought one thing of them, and then you meet them in person. Is it better or worse? But it sounds like it's a little of both.
It's a little of both. I would say it's mostly good. Some people, most people are good, and they're exactly what you want them to be, I think.
Now, Jake, you're a part of the new era, so this may influence your answer to this question, but some Survivor people get annoyed when Jeff continues to bring up the 26-day versus 39-day experience. And that came back
tonight.
Yeah, right. I was just about to say, he brought it back up at Tribal. For the people that joke about 26 days, what do you think, Jason? And Jason shares this experience of what he thinks it is. But a lot of OG Survivor fans are like, dude, like, it is what it is. COVID happened, and then it's continued to be a thing. And then I'm sure they save a lot of money doing it this way now. And it's just, we've sort of accepted it. But Jeff continually brings it up, whether it's in articles, interviews, podcasts, everything in between, about pitting these things against each other. Where do you stand in the pitting against each other and the narratives that are happening on social media because of it?
Personally, I would rather it be a longer game, just because, like, from what I've heard from other people, like, I think the down day, because there's not any down days on New Era Survivor. Like, I think there was like maybe a total of 2 days, and the whole time I was out there where there was just no journey, no nothing, people just hanging out at camp. Like, I think that was like day 2 and maybe like day 21. But outside of that, there was something every single day. And I think, what you hear from, especially people who played in the prior to the New Era, it's these down days are when people get like messed up because they're bored and they make mistakes. And so as someone who was kind of on the bottom the whole time, I'd appreciate more room for other people to make mistakes, But in terms of like the difficulty, like, 39 days is probably going to be harder. On day 36 is probably tougher than day 26. But I think the pre-merge, I would argue that the pre-merge may be more difficult just due to the lack of rice. I'll probably get pushback from people on that. I think the post-merge, like in New Era, is absolutely easier in terms of like the physical, mental toll. But the pre-merge, lack of rice, especially if you're on a tribe like Kella and you don't have Flint and like you're not going to get it back. Like, that's probably a harder first 10 days than, the first 10 days on season 40 and before.
Yeah, sorry, Jake. My dog Mookie doesn't want to miss a show, so he's
sure.
Mookie's adorable.
I had to jump down. So Mook, say hello to everybody, all right, and then hang out on the floor and go to sleep.
Yeah, nice.
Look, about being on the outs. I mean, there's no question in your season for quite a bit, especially all the way through the end. You were on the outs. I mean, heck, in that episode I watched today, 8 people left. They're already talking about getting rid of you. You hung around all the way till the end. So, Were there any outs do you see for the two guys that got eliminated the last 2 weeks? I mean, was there any strategy that they could have employed to maybe save themselves and stay on that tribe somehow? Or were they kind of doomed just by the numbers?
I think they were doomed just by the numbers, like obviously based on like what we've seen, and like they're not privy to other people's confessionals. They're probably not privy to how annoyed Savannah is with Juwan, but like, yeah, it looks like the show's telling us had Jason or Matt stepped on Juwan's neck, they may have had some movement. One of them was always going last week. There may have been like maybe a 10% chance at best, like Jason may have been able to move the needle to Juwan, but you're also out there and you're like considering all options. So anytime like Savannah says, oh, or like whoever it is, oh, it might be a good idea that Jason stays because of that. Like they cut it off, but like the next thing is going to say, oh, here's why Jason should leave,
Mm-hmm. So why the hell did Jason not use his shot in the dark? I mean, he seems like a super smart guy. It seemed very obvious that everyone, we're having this inevitable war between Uli and Hina, and also like his vote was for Rizgod, which he's the one who threw that idea. That's why I went out, and everyone's like, yeah, sure, okay. And so it just seemed very odd that he didn't use it. Again, the chances are low. It's called shot in the dark. But how do you not use that? That totally surprised me for a guy as smart as Jason.
Yeah, that was weird to me. There must have been something we hadn't seen.
Sure.
Like, I think it would be really easy, I feel like, to make the episode just based around convincing Jason to not play the shot in the dark. But, like, right. I don't feel like that would be captivating television. Like, even if you saw after the immunity challenge, I feel like they wanted to go to the chickens immediately because it was more interesting than what was actually going on the Losing Tribe beach. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I don't know why he didn't do that. They must have all sat down and convinced him. But with Savannah going over and seemingly trying to pitch another direction, mm-hmm. I don't really understand why the move went back to Rizzo. Yeah, that wasn't really explained to us. So there's just like a disconnect between what's being shown and what's probably actually happening.
Jake O'Kane joining us tonight. It's the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. It's our Survivor after show. Every Survivor episode, we're going to be here for you. A little post game. Please subscribe to our channel. Just hit that little red button. Bingo. And you are a subscriber. Listen, the journey. Let's talk about that. Two people on this journey. MC, who we haven't seen a ton of. I thought she actually got a decent edit tonight. We got to learn a little bit more about MC tonight. And Nate, who we do seem to know a lot about and is kind of leading that Uli tribe. Now, Nate convinces MC to not keep searching and gives that like, oh, we're running out of time. And then she comes over and sees the sands of time there not nearly run out. I was a little disappointed that MC wasn't more aggressive and didn't try to find that idol. Nate obviously didn't want to. He was exhausted. He knew she was going to outget him. And now, again, with another Hina being eliminated, I think that could have been potentially a critical thing that could have come into play. So what'd you think of her decision, and what about how Nate played that?
I mean, obviously, Nate was a little too heavy-handed because MC caught him. I think the idea is very smart, though. Like, I agree with what Nate is trying to do. And I felt like Nate has been super I like MC and Nate a lot. I like the idea from Nate to go and do that. And, should MC have went out there and kept looking? Yeah, I'd say you could keep looking. But I think, like, they said it kind of tonight a little bit, and I've even heard it, like, written in some article. Like, this is one of the hottest seasons that they've had out there. So it's absolutely brutal. And the journey was day 9 or day 10 or something. Like, you're really kind of feeling the low there. And, like, there's no rice yet. Even with winning stuff and eating like a little bit of crab, a little bit of coconut, that's going to gas you. And if you're moving stuff in like all those sandbags back and forth in that heat on the beach, no shade, that's going to gas you out so much. And then to be told, hey, you got to go dash around the jungle now and go look for this thing after moving however much, God knows how much weight and God knows how high it heat. Like, I think it would gas out anyone. I think MC is probably the most athletic person out there. I'm trying to think if there's anyone who appears more athletic than her, and she's gassed, Yeah. So I don't know if that's capable. Anyone would have been capable of keeping going, like, for a considerable period of time. But the weird thing about the challenge to me was that there was still a fair bit of sand in the timer. So producers definitely wanted them to go find the thing, which is right.
No doubt. They gave more than enough time to complete that challenge.
But maybe I'm a scumbag here, but as soon as MC says, oh my God, Nate, put the bag down. Come on over here. There's something to read. Oh, okay. Yeah, what's going on? Hey, wow. if we stop right now and someone runs and grabs this advantage, well, that person is safe. I would have went, push MC and just sprint towards the forest and immediately go. See you later, sucker.
Yeah, I feel like it's tough, like, because it's such a coin flip, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not a race to something. Like, you're going to find something. And it's like, where's Waldo? Someone's just going to look at the right tree and it's going to pop up. So I think MC made the right decision in terms of like the social game moving forward. Like, Nate's probably like the first person Nate's probably going to go to once they hit a merge is probably MC.
Yeah.
And I think that's I think it's astute of both of them, because like you just want people not like, especially when you get to a merge and there's like 3 tribes coming in, the first person to go is typically just like the lowest person on the totem pole. And you want people on the other side, like, just keep my name out of your mouth for at least the first round. And so I think it's an astute move on both of them, and they should use that opportunity with the journey to their advantage. And I think they'll both do that.
Hey, what'd you think of Jawan rigging the rock game there? If who chooses the rock to go on I'll put it on top. I mean, come on, Jason, man. Like, Jason should have tried to decide how that thing was going to be decided or been more assertive, because his butt was on the line. He just sat back and let those Uli people take him out to the woodshed, man. That really bugged me.
I know it. I ran into a situation like that where there was a journey and no one wanted me to go. I'm just like, I want to go. I don't care. And they actually, we got a bag filled with rocks, and they were just like, hey, whoever gets the whatever colored rock gets to go, and whoever wants to go, you throw that many other colored rocks in. And I don't know if Jawan, like, how did he like stack the rocks in a fabric bag? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that doesn't. I'm sure he tried to put that rock on top, but it's also like, you didn't shake it in front of anyone. I don't know. It just felt weird to me, right?
It felt weird to me too. I know.
Good job trying. Like, all due respect to Jawan and giving that a shot, definitely. But like, is that how it actually worked out? Is it because of that? I'm not fully confident in what he's saying there.
All right, let's go to what Survivor wanted us to talk about, the chicken debate. We've had it for 25 years in Survivor. Oh, geez, do you just wring the chicken's neck and immediately get protein, especially in this 26-day era where apparently you get a lot more food, or a lot less food, early, which probably heightens those decision-making process that people are like, I don't want to kill a chicken, I don't want to do this. Where do you stand, Jake, in all this? You wring the chicken's neck and let's go? Hey, we need protein?
You kill the chicken. And let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Anyone can eat. If I'm proud of killing chicken, anyone can eat the chicken. Anyone who cries about the chicken dying does not get the chicken.
There you go.
You're not allowed to cry about it. I don't like that. I understand you're upset, but I got to kill the thing, and no one crying is going to get the chicken.
Yeah, that seems only fair, because I've never wrung a chicken's neck, nor did the proper protocol to get it ready for action, plucking all its feathers off and everything. But I feel like, everyone else on the island that gets to complain and go, this is awful, horrible, and then they get as fair a piece of a chicken as everybody else.
Yeah, if I kill the chicken, I get to cry and I get to eat the chicken. If you don't kill the chicken, you don't get to cry. If you do, you're not eating the chicken. That's what I think the rules should be.
Them's the rules.
Every time I see chickens on Survivor now, I think of Ty, the chicken whisperer, because Ty was unbelievable. I mean, that guy could have probably trained those chickens to run chores on that island. He was so good with those chickens.
Grab me a coconut.
Crazy.
Who's your favorite Survivor? Ty is awesome. So, Jake, let's pick your brain. Who's your favorite Survivor of all time?
My favorite Survivor of all time?
Or give us a Mount Rushmore if you can't pick one.
Mount Rushmore. I think one of my favorite winners is Chris Daugherty. I really like Chris Daugherty. I think I said that in my pregame press too.
Okay.
I'm a big Vanuatu fan. I love Vanuatu. Just something about his like scrappy. Like, I wanted to go out and play like Chris Daugherty, and unfortunately I wasn't able to seal the deal. But I feel like in some ways it did kind of end up in that route of underdog story. Yeah. Even though I didn't walk away with $1 million, and I respect Chris Daugherty even more after playing.
Okay.
Well, they're definitely building a storyline in season 49, and we haven't seen it pop yet, but it's been building slowly in these last few episodes, and that's the Sage Shannon thing. This is getting dicey. Sage is very, very savvy. She's definitely a gamer. Almost feel like she's got a mean streak. And the fact that she was hugging it out with her and saying, I love you, and then looking at the camera and winking and giving like the, oh, God, why do I even have to do this, was fascinating. How's this going to play out, Jake? Let's talk about it.
I mean, I feel bad. I like Shannon and I like Sage. Yet it's Barry and Shannon. I feel like Shannon is going to have a rough time
Yep.
getting around kind of her overplaying. Like, they painted her as overplaying, like not the edit, but the other players feel she's overplaying.
Right.
And I feel like that's going to be very, very difficult for her to get out of. I mean, once she hits a merge, she is protected by like her additional alliance. But now everyone on that new tribe, what New Kelly,
Tina and Kelly.
Right.
knows about Rizzo's idol too, and so like obviously Sage is more indebted. They're more indebted to Sage at this point. I think it's funny because I feel like some people come in the game and they're very smart. People like Shannon, and Shannon on paper should absolutely do well at this game and succeed.
Yeah.
And I think you come into the game and you're like, oh, this person is going to be the Phillip of the season, the Phillip Shepherd, or like I don't have to take them seriously. And I think the cool thing about the new era is that Phillip Shepherd plays in the new era. Phillip Shepherd, I think, has a much, much better shot. But we almost get so meta with it. Like, I feel like someone like Sage is easily discounted. And that's something that we saw happen with Carolyn as well in 44. And we saw her have the ability to be super, super effective. Just because they're off tilt doesn't mean they're not on point. And they know what they got to do to get navigated
well said.
into the game. And so I feel like, when you get in the game, you want to be better. Like, oh, who do I have to actually worry about? And Sage has the ability to make people not worry about her as a strategic force. Meanwhile, she is moving with purpose, and that makes it tough for someone like Shannon, who is very astute at the game, to actually calculate how people are going to play and react to certain circumstances.
Yeah, I thought that was fascinating. Shannon waking up that one morning and discussing the 2-2-2 alliance. I'm like, how's that all coming together? The 2-2-2. I mean, you are asking for something that's going to be so difficult to put together because all these other alliances have been formed. How are you going to get somebody to get into 2-2-2? That seemed a little crazy.
Yeah, I do think to Shannon's credit, like if you are on the bottom like that, you're thinking of a million things you could do. You're thinking a million miles a minute. And, I did this as well, similarly to Shannon, where it's just you're trying to do too much. You're trying to think of, how do I do these wild plans, wild contraptions? You end up turning into Wile E. Coyote and it's going to blow up in your face, And unfortunately, it's not like and they cast a lot of type A people. So the idea that you're going to go and do nothing is a very tough pill to swallow if the production is casting correctly. And so that's what makes the show interesting. And, you do feel for Shannon in that spot.
How far away you think we are, Jake, from the merge? They never tell us exactly when it's going to be.
I mean, typically they should do it next week, but it doesn't look like they're doing that based on the preview. So I can't imagine that they go longer than one more week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. Get rid of Mergatory or like whatever it is and just do a straight vote at the merge. Do a straight vote in the merge, one immunity. Everyone votes. Like I like that. Like you make the earn the merge thing. I think it's. Some people like it, not my thing, but yeah, like do one more week of pre-merge, especially with the new swaps. Hopefully, the same tribe. I mean, even if the same tribe loses, and Jawan versus Sophie is a more interesting conversation at this point.
Yeah,
definitely so. Jake, are you an analytics guy?
In terms of Survivor, yes.
Okay, because I saw this graphic floating out on social media about the confessional count and what's been happening on the season and all these numbers of the average per episode and the total numbers. Is this something that you pay attention to for Survivor fantasy drafts and the stock of players and things?
Yeah. I mean, you definitely got it. Like you look at who the show's focusing on and things like that.
Who's getting the edit? We talk about it with Brett all the time. Who's getting a good edit?
Yeah, who's getting a good edit? Who's a major character? And what's always interesting about this spot too is that the either the first member of the jury or the first merge boot typically has a larger edit. So when you're looking at like these numbers, people who have higher numbers, sometimes around this point you can meet a real shocker, someone who you think is going to be a main character and a main player to the end of the game can go at this point, which I think makes it really interesting.
Is there a winner's edit? This is something Jeff has vehemently denied. Basically, obviously, they get all the information. They film all of you guys for the full season, and then they come back and edit it after. So a lot of people think that there's a winner's edit. There's a secret red line that if you're savvy enough, you can see the edit and how it goes, and that person is clearly the winner, and they're back telling the story as we're getting it on a week-to-week basis. Do you buy into that, or again, Jeff completely denies that's even a thing?
I think. Yeah, there's absolutely a winner's edit in some way. I don't think they're like, hey, we need to check these boxes because this is a winner. You know what I mean? But like, they're like, okay, how do we tell the story of how, whoever wins this season? Like, how do we tell this last season? How do we tell the story of Kyle winning? Like, of course you have to go back. Like, you look back, like, I can really only think of like 2 significant times where there hasn't been some kind of significant winner's edit. Like, if you're thinking like Gabler, like that story, that was Jesse's season. But if you go back and watch it again, and the editors do an interesting job of like planting these seeds, and like the whole Gabler narrative is real. Like 43 is really interesting on a second watch, knowing Gabler wins. And if you haven't watched it again, I would suggest go back and watch it. Or you have 38 with Chris Underwood, and that's basically just the story of Rick Devens and then the fall of Rick Devens, and then Chris Underwood wins.
Okay, Chris Underwood, is he a real winner? Jake, or
he's a real winner. He's a real winner. It's what I like about Chris Underwood winning.
All right, lay it straight.
Because I'm a huge Rick Devens fan.
Oh, I love
Rick. I feel like Rick Devens' legend status goes up because he lost. And like obviously at the time, like, no, Rick. But we're seeing Rick on 50 now. If Rick wins,
that's true.
Do we see Rick on 50?
Probably not.
Probably not.
But probably 40 then, right? Winners at war.
Yeah, Rick's definitely. That's true. Rick's definitely back for 40 if he wins. Yeah,
he probably would.
But 50 is still cool. 50.
We're going to talk to you a little bit about the cast of 50, but not yet. Not yet. Couple more things I want to get to in the episode. I love to break down the challenges every week. So what did you think of this lift the cage thing? This was a monstrous task for both. I mean, Jawan, when he started chanting and got them to move, I thought they were going to be stuck on the beach. That he and the tribe just looked like they were gassed. They didn't have it, and they found a way to get that crate up there. And heck, they were one basket away. I mean, it was pretty darn close when it was all said and done. What did you think of that challenge? And then maybe you could share a story of maybe your favorite challenge during your season, or something that you really thought was cool.
Honestly, I was really excited that they did this challenge tonight, because we did this challenge, and this was one of my favorite challenges that we did in my season. Like the cage thing, like I don't think it was as hot as they had it, but we had they had 6 people. I think we did it with 5. So I think they're being babies about it. Should have sped up, but I'm joking. But no, like we did that, and they didn't show it in the edit, but like I was the first person to put the cage on my shoulders, like behind, like you were holding some kind of like whatever that's called behind the back of the head. Yeah. And I felt like Superman then. Like that was sick. Yeah, carrying that up the hill was awesome. Then what we had Caleb like sink all the baskets. We came in first, and that was a really cool challenge. I'm a really good swimmer. Like anything in the water, I absolutely loved. And so I got to swim. Got to feel like Superman, and just like Caleb closed that stuff out with the basketball shots. I love that challenge. I think they should do it more.
All right, basketball shot etiquette. Okay, the sexy thing is to get Kobe and give a little bit of that action. But like tonight we saw a lot of grandma shots, and while they're not sexy, they seem wildly effective. I've heard Dalton Ross of Entertainment Weekly say this, that like, hey man, you just got to do what works. The grandma shot has a way higher success rate. Where do you stand on that? For style points, you're going to be on TV. You want the stroke, but also you want to win the challenges too.
Okay, I suck at basketball.
Okay,
I suck at basketball.
All right.
I am never going to be the person who's making the basketball shots. It's not something that I'm good at. If there was something I was good at, I would go for the style points. But if you're on my team, do the grandma shot. If I get something I'm good at, I'm going for style. Don't tell anyone.
Okay, we'll keep that between us. I like that.
Very cool. Very cool.
And let me see, what was that other thing? Oh yeah, and just in general, I don't know if I asked you this earlier, so if I did, it's a repeat. But we talked about how Savannah was annoyed by Jawan. Were there things on the island that annoyed you that other people did? And did you keep it to yourself, or did you like let everybody know
deal
about
with stress well? You're a guy that deals with stress well, deals with other people
every day.
I feel like other people's I feel like I deal with other people's eccentricities pretty well. Like I'm if someone's just like a little bit like off or someone has a tick, like it's tough to annoy me with that kind of thing. Like I think like one of the things my season, like Bruce is a good friend of mine. People are getting very annoyed with Bruce, and like he's a very, very good friend of mine, and we bust each other's chops, and like, but that kind of thing, like when he's telling me to do stuff, I'll be like, F off, old man. And like, he laughs, whatever. And it doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? Or like, or they showed in the episode Drew like complaining and like moping about, oh, this sucks. We're here. Gosh. Or, whatever. And I think it's just funny. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's funny, like people's weird differences like that. So I got a pretty high tolerance for that. But to Savannah's point, if someone's stealing my stuff, I'm going to be upset.
Especially when we had Shoe Bandit earlier too,
Yeah,
I would have been upset at Shoe Bandit. I would have been upset at Shoe Bandit. But I like Jake. I thought it was really funny. It was great TV.
Yeah. Have you and Drew ironed it out? I mean, in that episode.
Yeah. Drew,
he called you like the mafia boss. He didn't like that. You were trying to, defend yourself. Dare I say? Yeah. Meanwhile, he was backstabbing you over there. As the episode I'm sure showed you. You were right. Your radar was up, Jake. You were right on that.
He's such a good dude. It was funny because we got in the argument on the show. And we literally woke up the next day. We're like, we probably shouldn't have fought about that. That was kind of dumb. He's like, yeah, you good? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. No problem. We're good. Yeah. It was really, really blown over, but it was funny. It was funny. It was funny to watch back.
Okay, here's something that annoys me. Let me just get this out there. I hate that, and we've seen this a lot more recently. So I hate to just generalize all your people, Jake, in the new era. But like, I like the saucier tribal councils. I like when things got a little more personal. Like Jason just leaves, and he's got this big dumbass smile on his face, and Kevin's like, still have that smile. It's like, yeah, happy to be here. I was an alternate, and I'm like, come on, man! Like you just got voted out. Your dreams and hopes were just crushed and annihilated by all these jerks behind you. Like I want to see a little bit. I don't want to. If I make the show and I get voted out, God forbid, everyone's going to hear about it as I'm going out. I'm like, screw you guys. This sucks.
Yeah, we quite enjoyed the scowl by who was it? The muscle guy from last season. I'm forgetting his first name.
Oh, David. Was it David?
David, yes. David, when he got voted out and then just gave the dirty stare. I loved it. Oh, that was awesome.
Good, juicy.
We like those saucy moments.
People should be upset. Like I get like wanting to come across a certain way and not wanting to come across is a sore sport. But like you being upset that you lost doesn't equal poor sportsmanship. And like, as long as like I remember like one of the tribal councils where Kelly went home on my season, I was like, I'm gonna talk so much crap on my way out the door. Like I don't care. Care. Like you can all hear it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell them I'm ordering this. I was gonna order my food from Jeff, like whatever. Like I don't know. I was thinking of stuff all day on the boat ride over to the tribe. I'm like, I'm gonna be such a jerk.
And you never got to use it.
No, never got to use it. Like I'm out. I can piss off whoever I want.
Exactly. Right. So,
PG,
that's just one complaint. Yeah.
Before we get to season 50, because I want to talk with Jake a little bit about season 50 before we get out of here tonight. Throw up the big board. We do a draft. Brett, and Paul, and we pick 9 survivors. We do it after episode 1, so we can get to know the cast a little bit. We don't want to just do it blindly based on bios. We want to see the characters and see them in action. But we do it obviously very, very early. We each pick 3. We do a snake draft, and as you can see, Brett, who's won this more than we have. Let's just say that I've never won it. I think Paul's won it once or twice. Brett's won it most of the time. Brett with all 3. He's got Nate, Sophie, and Alex, so he's sitting pretty. With Jason going tonight, Boy Green is now down just to Rizzo, and I am down to just Steven. So
the Ryan Reynolds
board, man, who's going to win this thing? I know there isn't much left on the plate for me and him, but
give us your expert analysis here, Jake.
Who do I think is gonna
what do you think of this fantasy draft? Did we totally blow it? What do you think? Yeah.
I think honestly, I probably going into tonight, I would have said MC, but where she kind of had the journey and I didn't get what I wanted to see, so she's taken out of it. But I think Sophie has a really good shot. I think Sophie's in a really good spot. She just needs to get some food in her. I feel like
she's
get that rice in her. Yeah. She's gonna perk right up.
She's a great speaker, man. Great speech. All these analogies that I'm like, gee, and no wonder they put her on the show. It's obvious.
And you know what I think is something really important too that Sophie has is that Sophie's funny, and Sophie can make people laugh, and that's like sometimes a very, very tough thing to do out there for people, just to laugh and like feel and that's going to make people feel comfortable. And I think Sophie just being such a minimalized threat, like at this point, just given numbers, given the amount of original Kella in the game, just being Alex and her, you know, she's at such a good spot to go deep. And then I think she has the skills to maneuver through the end game pretty successfully.
Are you a Riz God guy?
I love Riz God. I love Riz God.
Okay, good.
I was so ready to not like Riz God, but it's like he's such a good kid. He's such a good kid.
All right,
he's just having the time of his life out there. So it's like you can't watch him and not be happy for him being out there. You know.
Yeah, great draft pick. Great draft pick.
Look, we've never had a season between the three of us where one of us hasn't had the winner. So if this is the season, it's going to be the first time ever. And we've done this with Brett for, gosh, I don't know how many
Would
seasons.
that be? The 19 seasons or something?
Like 19 seasons. And one of us has always had the winner, but we're we're getting hit pretty early here. Yeah. Each losing 2 already, but Brett's still sitting pretty. We'll see how it all plays out. All right, take that board down, Boy Green, and let's talk a little bit, Jake, about season 50. We'll put up the cast here in a minute. We got a big graphic that shows everybody in the cast, and we don't know obviously who the 2 players from this season are yet. But what did you like? What didn't you like? Brett's offered his criticisms. He's offered his the guys that the
50 cast initial thoughts.
Your initial thought when you heard about the cast and who was going to be on.
Yeah. Okay. My initial thing was, why the hell are we doing 24 people? Like, why are we doing 24? I don't think we need. I think do 20 people. I think 20 people could have been a thing. Now the problem is you got all these big names. Everyone here could and should come back in one way or another. I agree with that. But there's going to be a good chunk of people here who you want to see again, who are just going to get lost in the edit. And it's going to be an absolute waste to bring them back. You waste an appearance by them, and you're not going to be able to see as much. I just think it's, there's going to be people that people really like that we don't get to see at all, even though they're out there. And so I think that
is 26 days. I don't know this, Jake. You may know this more than me. Is 26 days confirmed for season 50?
I don't know if it's confirmed, but that's what I have heard.
Okay. Yeah, because that would have been the only thing that I would have said if there's 24 people, but there's some slight adjustment. Maybe that gives us a little more time to breathe, because obviously 24 people, 26 days, basically every day somebody's got to go home.
Well, they'll have some double eliminations.
I think the first half of the game is going to be the 2 losing tribes go to tribal, and then that's how they're going to make up.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's what I think.
To a night.
That's the only way they can do it.
Yeah.
And I think it would be smart to get more people out in the first half and then just be able to tell this story better throughout the rest of the game. I think it's going to be a lot like Australian Survivor, where you're going to see some people just getting no confessionals the whole time they're there. Obviously, I'm excited for 45 people. I want Emily and Dee to both do very well, so I'm very invested in them doing well. I do like that it's a mix between old era and new era.
Yeah. Where the hell are you, Jake? Where the hell are you, man?
Where the hell am I?
Would you want to be on season 50? And if they had asked you, would you have said yes? Let's start.
If they had asked me, I would have said yeah. If they had asked me and said, you're on the final thing, I would have gone. But that's all right though. I'm happy for my people. I'm happy for Emily. Okay. I'm happy for Dee. Charlie lives here as well, so I'm good friends with Charlie as well. So I'm really excited in seeing them do well. And then I'm excited for like older players who haven't seen and should have been brought back for a while, like Angelina. I'm a huge Angelina fan.
Yeah, sure.
Excited to see her.
Do you have any sense on, obviously we have 2 mystery contestants, and those are both from the season we're watching right now. Do you have any sense on who those 2 are?
Yeah. I've seen who that is spoiled online. I don't know.
Really? I haven't seen it. Okay, yeah, accurate. Do tell. Okay.
But yeah, I've seen who it is spoiled online. I don't know if that's
all right. Blow our popsicle can here. What have you seen? Yeah. Okay.
What have I seen? Like
name? You said you saw something. I haven't seen anything at all outside of I saw Rob. Rob has said Jake, Snakebite Jake. He thinks that and to me that makes a lot of sense that he would be one of the 2. Now it sucks that it would be 50 because that sort of seems unfair because of what 50 is supposed to be. I think he definitely deserves a second shot. So if they bring it back immediately, I guess it makes sense as one of the 2 spots. But
yeah, I'm not going to drop the names. If you want to look it up, you can look it up. I don't
okay. All right. Okay.
But
listen, his lawyer's involved. He's a lawyer. He understands.
That's true. That makes sense. I see.
I mean, Jake's coming. Jake Latimer's gonna come back at some point. I think.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, I think so.
that's too. Like he gets bit and then goes see the birth of his kid. Like, oh, geez, you know.
Wow. Yeah.
How do you feel about,
it worked out. Yeah.
How do you feel about Mr. White Lotus, Mike White, getting another appearance here? I know Brett wasn't too fond of it, doesn't think he has any chance at all. The guy's got all the money in the world. Who the heck's going to vote for him? What do you think of Mike?
Yeah, I think he's got an uphill battle. I was pleasantly surprised because I liked watching Mike the first time. But, yeah, I think he's got an uphill battle. I think Mike has the potential to go deep, but I don't know if he has the potential to win just given, like, the crowd here.
Yep. Right.
You know, I don't think people are going to allow for that because they already know his game. I feel like Mike did so well the first time because I don't think everyone really got Mike the first time he played, but he was able to establish confidence and trust in people and they wanted to take him far. You know, I don't think he's going to be able to. I'm not confident in his ability to do it twice, to be honest, as much as I like Mike.
All right. Based on what we've got on the screen, you can't pick Emily or D. Give us no more than 2 people you think could win this thing that are on that board right now.
You're not gonna let me pick Emily or D. All right.
Nope.
I'm gonna do pick my guy Charlie from New Era.
Okay. All right, great.
Charlie definitely has a good shot. And then I'll pick a old era player.
Yeah. Give me Dragon Slayer, baby. Come on, Jake.
I love Coach. I love Coach.
We all love.
But you know what? I'm gonna go with Jenna. Give me Jenna.
Ooh, wow.
I'm a big Jenna Lewis fan.
Wow.
Fellow third placer. Also went to the final 3 with a couple. So I'm going with Jenna. I'm excited.
That's big time old school right there.
Yeah. By the way, is that I've heard other third placers talk about it, but is it a real thing? Do you guys have like a special club you guys meet at every other Thursday or something? Like what do you guys do? Are you guys connected in some way?
It's every other Thursday, but yeah.
Okay, great. What about the 3 from 48? There's been some complaints online about too much too soon with what we just saw.
Joe, Camilla all coming in, yeah.
Yeah, Kyle, Joe, Camilla.
Yeah, I get like worried about like, in all these 3 people, Kyle, Joe, and Camilla, like if you're gonna do winners, I think Kyle is the perfect person to come back. I think Kyle, if we're gonna do winners, Kyle should come back. I like the way he narrated the season. I do feel like there's a couple things that are doubled up here, like with Joe. I really like Joe, and Joe was super compelling to watch on his season, and like the relationship with Eva was really good.
Yeah, that was
but
great.
I just feel like in terms of Joe, it's doubled up between, Joe, Jonathan, Colby. I don't know. Like it feels like we could have got something with different sauce. Like it seems like similar sauce.
Much of the same sauce, right?
And I'm not saying that Joe shouldn't come back. He should. But then it's like, all right, well then like maybe let's figure out someone else other than Jonathan, or let's figure out someone else other than Colby. It's less of a problem with Joe and more of a problem of variety. And I feel like we could have gotten a little more.
Why only 2 winners? I love Dee. She's obviously from your season, and Kyle. But like it seems like. Again, as we're looking at this cast, now that we have all the answers, right? We weren't a part of the process of slicing this down. It seems like an afterthought if only 2 winners are there. That just seems like something that's sort of randomly thrown in as opposed to part of the strategy of including them in this massive season.
Yeah, I think that's why it feels like a little disjointed. And like I said before, like all these people in some capacity, like I get why they're being brought back, but I feel like 24 people, they waited way too long to do a returnee season. And now we're talking about Survivor 50. Like, where the hell is Malcolm?
Yeah.
Where is Spencer? Where is
fascinating guy.
I would have loved to see Jesse from your New Era. Jesse, I thought was good.
Where's Jesse? Where's Carolyn? Where's Shan? Like we just waited way too long. And now we're like, we got to figure something out, and this is what it is. And like, as I said, everyone here could come out again, and I don't think I talked about Camilla from 48. I'm really excited to see Camilla again. I feel like Camilla's like one where it's like she played a good game. I'd like to see her do something different and do it again, and I feel like she could do it again twice. I'm excited for Camilla. But
I feel bad for Camilla. Now she's logjammed to Kyle again. Maybe they're going to try to split them up immediately, but like she was affected. Camilla was, and again, it helped and hurt her game, obviously, with how far they were able to go. But Camilla, once again, is hogtied over here to Kyle, and that could affect her once again.
Well, that's the problem with 24 too, because you're probably going to have a bunch of people going early on. Kyle's in the game versus Camilla comes back for like a fans versus favorites kind of thing, or even if it's just like, second chance kind of situation. I would have so much confidence in Camilla to get to the end of the game and win, but this seems a little bit more of an uphill battle for her. And I think she can do it though. I'm actually pretty high on Camilla. I don't think everyone else is, but like I'm very high on Camilla.
She's sneaky. She's sneaky.
Very
she's
sneaky.
Smart player. Right, her and Eva in the finals, and I didn't win again. And I can't get a break. Can't get a break because our Survivor draft. Right, Brett had Kyle. Right, you didn't have him, Boy Green.
Yeah,
right?
I did not. No. He had Kyle one again.
Camilla should have turned on him at some point. I was like, come on, Camilla, turn on.
Should have done it earlier. Yeah, slit a throat. Yeah.
Well, Jake, it has been an absolute pleasure having you. Thank you for sitting in for Brett and for spending a little time. For all these people in the room who are hanging out, by the way, hit the like, a little thumbs up, or if you want to subscribe, you can hit that as well. But it's been a real joy doing these post games. We're going to continue to do it right through season 50 for sure. Boy Green and I have been doing Survivor for over in the neighborhood of 10 years. And it's just great to talk and get different people's perspectives. So you're welcome back anytime, but thanks for spending a little time tonight. We appreciate it.
So much fun, man. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is
Hey, Jake, before you dip, give some plugs, man. You're all over the place. I see you're giving, I just got into this with my fiance, the Dancing with the Stars. I'm catching up on some of that action. I saw you're doing some action there. So, give the plug.
I've watched 3 episodes of Dancing with the Stars now. And so would like to think that I'm an expert.
Yeah, clearly.
I mean, I'm great.
Yeah.
And I've been right every time. That Andy Richter has stayed. Spoilers, sorry. And
yep.
I've been so clearly I know what I'm talking about. But when I started watching that, it's been good. I watched it. It's not bad. I used to watch it a while ago when I was living at my grandmother's house, and a good friend of mine recently got me back into it. So
full circle.
I'm in,
There we go. Beautiful.
It's just not the same without Tom Bergeron, though.
That's true. Right. We've got Carlton. It's a double co-hosting now.
Carlton, right? We got the Carlton thing going there. And I've actually been dabbling a little lately. My wife's been watching it, so then TV's on. I can't do anything, so I've been getting stuck. So that crocodile, the crocodile guy's son.
Oh, Steve Irwin's son. Yes.
Yeah.
He looks really good. He can groove.
Oh, he's pretty good. Yeah,
we're a big fan of him. We're a big fan.
You got an Olympian in there, and in Jordan Childs. I mean, they're always dangerous. They're so focused. They're unbelievable what they can do with their body. So it ought to be a fun season of Dancing with the Stars as well. All right, Jake, we won't hold you any longer. Thank you, buddy. And if we ever come up around Beantown, we'll make sure to hit you up at the pub. I know Brett keeps bothering us to come up there, so we'll get up.
Yeah, whenever you guys are up, we'll all get together. We'll have a drink.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sounds
Thanks,
great.
buddy.
Thanks, Jake.
All right, you guys have a good one.
All right, so that'll put a wrap on our little Survivor after show. Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. Boy Green and I will be back again after the next episode next Wednesday. We get on the air usually about 9:40, 9:45. Brett will be back with us next week, and you never know what kind of special guests we might bring along as well. So plenty of former Survivor players. There's our YouTube channel right there, youtube.com/MC Show Digital. We'd love it if you click the subscribe right now and became part of our little family. As a matter of fact, for those of you that are out there, we're giving away a free golf club to one of our next 130-ish survivors, and it is a Cleveland Highbore XL. Look at this thing. It is still in the wrap, baby. I'll pull it out of the head cover. Look at this. Still in the plastic. It was donated by one of our wonderful sponsors, Play It Again Sports, so we thank them for donating the golf club, and we're just giving it away to one of our subscribers. So if you get in now, you got a chance, dare I say, to get in the lottery and try to win this free golf club worth about $400.
Yeah, so a shout out to we have over 300 people in the room right now, and I know we got plenty of people that watch after the fact that can't tune in immediately to the live post-game show. So yes, if you're watching right now and you're on your phone or a tablet or your computer, just open up a new tab, go over to youtube.com right now and hit that link on your screen. It is /MC Show Digital. It's free to subscribe. You can get the golf club for yourself, give it out as a gift. Christmas is right around the corner. An unbelievable prize. And again, we have many more free giveaways to come. So how to be eligible, just remain subscribed, which is for free to do, and we'll be randomly picking it once we reach 500 100 subscribers, which again, another 130 and change away. So make sure you guys subscribe so you're part of that army.
So we're growing every day. We're pretty new to the digital space, but Boy Green and I, for those of you that don't know us, we were on the radio together for 8 years. I've been on the radio for over 25 years in the central New York, Syracuse area. We cover mostly sports, and if you like sports content, you can join us for that. But we've loved Survivor for years, and we're going to continue to do this Survivor post-game show. We also do random Survivor interviews with former players as well, and try and bring you some in-depth stuff. We have plenty of things on our YouTube channel in our playlist, Inside Survivors, where you can see interviews with former players and what they think about season 50. So we asked Jake a little bit about it tonight, but you can go find out what like Tiffany Seeley thinks about season 50, or what David Wright thinks about the cast of season 50. Everybody seemed to have a different take on this cast, including Jake tonight. So very, very interesting stuff. So go check that out when you have time. A lot of fun. We do a lot of long form interviews like that for your enjoyment. So Boy Green, final thoughts if you have any before we get out of here.
Yeah, quick plug, and I know we've got Survivor fans in here and sport fans alike. Tomorrow we're going to have some Buffalo Bills content for you Bills Mafia members out there, Anthony Prohaska, and some Syracuse for local people that are tuning into the show and enjoyed the Survivor interviews. We're back on the local Syracuse airwaves. We're going to have Andy Demetra, speaking of local, Syracuse, proud Syracuse alum, now the voice of Georgia Tech, the Yellow Jackets. We have that interview coming out tomorrow as well. So content every day here on the channel. It's great.
Yeah, you see that legendary 44 behind me there on the left of my screen.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
That's the legendary Syracuse number, the number 44. There you go.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So check that out. That'll be awesome. Syracuse have a chance to upset a top 10 team in college football this weekend. Georgia Tech is ranked number 7 in the country. Undefeated at 7-0. So it'll be lovely to spoil those Georgia Tech people.
Syracuse beat them last year, Lurch.
They were a little different last year than they are this
year.
I
guess that's true.
They're a pretty good squad this year. And so is Syracuse. But we'll see how it goes down. You never know. That's why they play the games, right, folks? All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us for another Survivor post-game show. We will see you again next Wednesday night. Take care.